Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. And yes, we're back for another bookish vlog, because I have lots of bookish things to talk about. And I just finished a Starbucks review. I just reviewed the hot cocoa cold brew. And it is early in the afternoon. It is 1:30 p.m. And I have spent the better part of late morning hanging out with my good Judy Tawny Jean. And we went to the Dollar General. We were trying to go to Kroger because she needed produce. And I needed a celery stick and a red onion for stuffing for tomorrow, because I'm making the vegetarian stuffing. And Kroger was so busy, the grocery store, that we decided just to go to the Dollar General and get some things that we didn't need. Or that we did need. Tidy Bowl. I got Tidy Bowl. It's in the back seat there. So anyway. And so we got Tidy Bowl, and then I got this pan to put, you want to see what I got? I got these pans, see, to put the stuff in. And then I got this beautiful Christmas bag to put a present in. Can't tell you for who. And then my Tidy Bowl. I don't know where my Tidy Bowl is. I thought Tiny said she gave it to me, but she must have taken it with her. Where did it go? I don't know. Anyway, oh Lord. So I thought we would talk about books today, because see, this is a booktube channel. Did you know that? Okay, well, first of all, I just want to say I finished the 8th book in the Jana De Leon series, the Misfortune series. The 8th book was called Treasure Hunters, and it was about a catfish, like that TV show Catfish. Oh my god, it was so good. I am so obsessed with those books, but I've talked about them so much I won't bore you with it. But needless to say, it is like the best series ever, and I would just read them straight through. But I was getting ready to read the 9th one, or I was gonna read the JAYCEE DUGARD, the 2nd book that she wrote about like what's happened to her since she's been out of being kidnapped, because we have the book club live stream coming up. But if you want to be in the book club, a true crime book club is listed below. Just join it on Facebook or the Goodreads or whatever. Thank you, we'd love to have you. And that's all you have to do. This month we're reading. Well, I read it already. JAYCEE DUGARD, A Stolen Life, which is about her being kidnapped for 18 years. Oh, a devastating book. But anyway, trigger warning, I will say that there's a lot of really hard stuff to read in the book. So anyway, and I wanted to read the 2nd one before the live stream. So I was going to start that, and it's a real short book. It's like 5 hours and 55 minutes or something. It's less than 6 hours. But I got on my library of Audible last night, and Ready Player 2 came out by Ernest Cline last night. Now, if you have watched my BookTube channel for a while, or my vlog, you probably know that Ready Player 1 was one of my favorite books I've read in the last couple years. I started it by doing, well, no, I did it as a buddy reads. By the way, if you're out there and you're a booktuber and you want to do a buddy reads with me, let me know. I would love to do a buddy reads with somebody that's another booktuber. I haven't done that in a long time. So we decided, I can't remember what her name is now. I don't even think she's on BookTube anymore, but we decided, Casey was her name, but I don't think she's on BookTube anymore, because I haven't seen her post anything in a long time. We decided to do, this is like my year 1, I think, Ready Player 1. And it was getting so much attention at that time. This was before the movie came out and whatever. And this is why I'm so thankful for Booktube and Bookstagram, because I find so many books to read that are just fantastic, and that I would never have known before. And I had seen Ready Player 1 a lot, like in the bookstores and stuff. Like I would go to Barnes & Noble and it would just be sitting out there, you know, or half-price books, and it would be like one of the recommended books, but I didn't really look by it. I'm not a big science fiction reader, so when I would pick it up, I was like, this doesn't seem like anything I'd be interested in. And then I started seeing so many booktubers talk about, I don't remember a lot of bookstagrammers talking about it, but I remember a lot of booktubers talking about what a great book it is. And so I was like, well, I'll try it. So, hold on a second, I need a sip of my cold brew. My hot cocoa cold brew. And I ended up reading it, and I absolutely loved it. I think Ernest Cline is a genius writer, author. The way that he weaves pop cultural references in with this intricate story is so unbelievable. And if you've only seen the movie and you haven't read the book, you're doing yourself a real injustice. And even if you've seen the movie, you can read the book. It's very similar. I thought the adaptation was very well done. But one of the things that I was talking about this on my vlog last night, like one of the things that I remember is that the book is really for adults, whereas I feel like the movie was really geared for families. The book was not like a family book. I mean, it was definitely an adult book. And Ready Player 2 starts off basically with the main character talking about losing his virginity. I mean, it's an adult book. It's not like it's not like a family book. Like, and it really is a science fiction book, but it's so fantastic. The weird thing is, I will tell you, for those of you that are fans of Hank Green's second book that just came out this year, and I read it like 2 months ago or whenever it came out, I can't remember. The first one's an absolutely remarkable thing. The second one's a beautiful, inconvenient truth or something. Isn't that Al Gore's documentary? That documentary made me so sad. Did you guys see that documentary? But it's called something. But anyway, the scientific philosophical concept that Hank Green introduces in his book, the second one, is almost the exact same thing that Ernest Cline is talking about in his second book, which is very, very interesting to me that they come out with, and I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but it's so interesting to me that it's almost the exact same concept, right? And I'm like, you know, it's really weird when you look back at like science fiction novels from like the 60s and you see that we're basically living those realities today. And I was talking about this on my vlog. Like, I remember going to Disney World when I was a kid with my dad, and we would go to like It's a Small World, right? And they would have that one area in It's a Small World where they would have like the futuristic house, and everything in the house was like, you know, like turned on and off and, you know, operated by this panel or whatever. And now we see that like with Google Home and, you know, iPads, and like, we have friends of ours whose their entire houses are operated by their iPads, and I'm sure there's some of you out there that have that. We don't, but because we're not that technological, but we're learning. Alex got the Google Home, what do you call it? The lamps, which I think are very, very cool. So anyway, what was I gonna say? I don't even know what I was going to say now. I was actually just thinking that would probably be a good review video to do. Like, I should do that because that'd be fun. So anyway, so I'm like in my head now. This is so bad. I'm sorry. But anyway, the concepts that he introduces are very similar to what Hank Green introduces, which I have to honestly say, a little bit as an author, I'd be kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird that we both came up with the exact same thing, right? So that would be a little disconcerting, which if I was an author, well, I am an author, but like, and I actually thought that because there was something, I was reading some book and I was like, this is basically the idea I was thinking about writing. And I was like, okay, well, thank God that I didn't write this book, right? And, because then, of course, they would be famous instead of me, and that would be the reason why I wasn't famous, was because they basically had the idea out first. Everybody has the same idea on some things, you know? But I did think it's interesting because this is very, very similar concept, you know? So anyway, but different storylines. Ready Player 2 is basically like, if you read Ready Player 1 or watched the movie, it's basically them trying to find this Easter egg that has been hidden in this internet oasis. And Ready Player 2 is a very similar concept. I'm not ruining anything for you. It happens right out of the gate. There's basically another journey that they have to go on to find yet another Easter egg. So it's basically Ready Player 1 all over again, except it's called Ready Player 2, and that's the reason why it's called Ready Player 2 is explained like literally right at the beginning of the book. If you liked Ready Player 1, you're gonna love Ready Player 2 because it is exactly the same concept. It feels like it never stopped. Like, it just picks up like right afterwards. It picks up right afterwards and then it skips forward a while. And I'm not that far into it, but I mean, it's literally basically like the same book. If you listen to it on Audible, Ready Player 2 is narrated by Will Wheaton, who narrated Ready Player 1. Now, I will tell you this: you can't listen or read Ready Player 2 without having read or listened to Ready Player 1. Like, you have to know about Ready Player 1 to read Ready Player 2, which is whatever. So that's what I'm reading, and then when I get done with that, I think I'm going to listen to the JAYCEE DUGARD book. I finished the first book in, I think I talked about this in my last vlog. I finished the first book in the Lemony Snicket series. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it. I was just kind of waiting to try to get through it. I thought it was cute. I will definitely try to continue to read the rest of them, but I'm not that completely thrown out by it. And there's actually another middle grade series, elementary or middle grade series called The Witch's Sister by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor that I read the first and second one when I was a kid. The second one is called Witch's Water. The third one is called The Witch Herself. There's actually 7 books in the series, which I was completely unaware of until a couple years ago, or I don't know when it was, 2 or 3 years ago. I talked about it in a video, and somebody commented and said there's actually 7 books in the series. So I got on Thrift Books and I bought all of the books, and so I have them all, and I've been wanting to read them for like 3 years. They're very short. They're like 150 pages each. And so instead of reading the second Lemony Snicket book, which I was going to do, I picked up at home, I'm reading Witch's Sister, the first one. So I'm going back and reading the first and the second one, and I'm going to continue to read them forward. But I don't know like how fast or whatever, you know, I'm just like picking up a couple pages here, a couple pages there, and whatever. I wish somebody would let me know in the comment sections if they've read the Matthew McConaughey book. I feel like everybody I know right now, my cousin, my friend Valerie, everybody I know is reading the Matthew McConaughey book. I really want to read it. I love Matthew McConaughey. I think he's very attractive. And it's supposed to be like basically based on his notes for like the last, you know, 20, 30 years of just his life. And it looks very interesting, but I haven't really heard any reviews about it yet from people that I respect. So I'd be interested to know what people think about it if you're somebody that reads like memoirs or, you know, essay writing kind of stuff like that, which I enjoy. I really do want to read, and I've kind of been like picking it up a little bit here and there, Joan Didion's, shoot, what's it called? Slouching Towards Bethlehem or something like that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Dan Levy said it's his favorite book of life, and so if Dan Levy said it, I have to read it. That's all there is to it, okay? So anyway, I don't know if I talked about the JAYCEE DUGARD book on here. I finished the JAYCEE DUGARD book, A Stolen Life. I don't want to talk a whole lot about it until the book club live stream. I was powerfully moved by it. It was my second time reading it. There was a lot I didn't remember. It was horrific to read. You know, she was kidnapped and held hostage for 18 years. And she is so strong. When you read the end of the book, she's just absolutely like one of the strongest women ever. And it's just so powerful to read her story. And she's so protective of her daughters in the book. It's a very cool story. I was bawling my eyes out at the end. I just was completely moved by it. A lot of people had issues with kind of like she narrates her own book with the narration, and that it's written in very kind of short sentences, and I totally understand that. I mean, I would agree with that. The thing is, for me, I didn't have a problem excusing that because she was a year out, I think, when she wrote she wrote it like a year out of being kidnapped, and she had a 5th grade education, so it's very short sentences. I had no problem listening to it. I will tell you, I also listened to it at 2.5 speed, so it was fast. It was like, and I usually listen to books at like 2. I have to tell you guys, like 2 times speed is even getting slow to me with some books. So, and I retain the information. I don't know how I retain it that quickly, but I do. People like get in my car and they're like, "How do you listen to a book that fast?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I love it. You know, the last hour of the book, I think I listened to at 3 times speed and had literally no problem listening to it. So, I thought it was good. I was bawling my eyes out at the end of it. Like, literally bawling my eyes out. It's just, she's so strong. She's so powerful. I'm really happy we read it for the book club. Now, we have already picked, oh, this was the book that I should have done today. Well, I'm going to do it right now. So you guys are going to have to, I'm going to have to pull in somewhere and tell you guys what we're reading. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. So for the month of December, I have never done a book announcement on a book vlog before, I don't think. For the month of December, we are going to read about Casey Anthony, a case which I know very, very little about. I told my friend Tanya this today, and she was like, I wouldn't even give her the attention to pick up a book and read it about her. I said, Tanya Jean, it's a true crime book club. She started laughing. She was like, I can't stand that woman. She was like, that whole case makes me so sad. So anyway, we're going to read about Casey Anthony. Here, I'm going to pull in here and I'm going to tell you the book that we're going to read. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I still need to get a wreath. Okay, oh my God, another Dollar General. So let me tell you the book that we were gonna read. Hold on just one second. Okay, I'm looking up MEL'S text message because we were texting back and forth about it. So the book that we're gonna be reading is called Imperfect Justice, Prosecuting Casey Anthony, and it is by Jeff ASHTON with Lisa Pulitzer. And this is what the cover looks like. See? And it's available on Audible for 11 hours and 35 minutes, 4.5 stars. And it is narrated by the author. And you can also get it on Kindle, and you can also get it everywhere else. So we looked it up. Imperfect Justice, Prosecuting Casey Anthony. I don't really know a whole lot about this case, so it's going to be interesting to read about that. And that is our December book. And yeah, and we still haven't announced when we're going to do the November book club. The date is supposed to be this Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to suggest to Mel that we wait a week because people, I don't know what their plans are for Thanksgiving and things like that, or what they're going to be doing this weekend. I know a lot of people aren't doing anything, but some people may be. So I'm going to suggest that we do it next week. And either Mel or I will post it on the Facebook book club or on Goodreads. So you guys can check, and the Goodreads post for the book club, so you can check it out there. And that's it. And then, yeah, so that's kind of my book club update, or book update and book club update. Let me know what you guys are reading in the comment section below. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.